All right, man. So if you follow those steps, that's how you're going to use the Force to be able to tie your shoes. All right. But hey, man, I got to go. So I'll see you next week. All right. Cool. Welcome back, Padawans, to another episode of Jedi Mind Trick, where I am here to tell you that you need console covers. Now, here's why. And again, do you need them? Not really, in the grand scheme of things, right? It's just it's an accessory. It's something that adds some panache, some flavor to your console. To now both consoles, as we just found out earlier this week, that Xbox is now going to have console covers for the Xbox Series X. I don't know if there's coming out with some for the Series S console. I don't think they are. It didn't have anything on their website about that. I think it's just for the Series X for right now. But it is really cool, and we're going to get into all of that. But as we all know, PS5 has already had a slew of console covers come out and on release. Now, we had some different colors for the controllers that came out, and after those controllers were announced, we got an announcement that some faceplates matching those controller colors were going to be dropping in the market as well. So we did have to wait a little bit for the back half of those, the last three colors to come out, but they finally did release, and now, that's why I've got my purple PS5 over here. So now we're getting into, we had the colors, and then we started seeing collaborations being done. It started first with the controller, and it's not really collaboration, they just put their IP on, the controller. So it started with the God of War Ragnarok controller, and then I believe they had a Harry Potter controller. Yeah, they did have the Harry Potter controller as well this year. So they started putting IP with the PS5 controller. Cool, okay. But then we started seeing them do collaborations for the faceplates. Now, from the very jump, as soon as I realized that you were going to be able to take these faceplates off, I knew that we were going to be able to change them out. That's first and foremost. Now, what I thought was going to be genius was for, instead of you selling a bundle, instead of you selling, just a console and you have to buy a whole new console to get the cool, limited edition one, just sell the faceplates by themselves. You're already going to make them, especially if it's designed like this. Of course, the faceplates on these consoles will be able to come off of them. So, let's make some more money, Sony. Let us just be able to buy these faceplates, which we already see them doing with now the Spider-Man. This is now the first time that they have done their own IP on these faceplates, and they're able to, again, garner a lot of attraction. These faceplates sold out like that. They were gone, immediately gone. Now, in my opinion, in my head, I do believe that we're going to see a restock, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think that they're just done. Whatever they had at the jump of this when pre-orders went live, I think it was on the 28th of July. I don't think that was all of it. I don't think so. So I'm seeing a lot of signs as well that could potentially mean that we're going to see restocks, you know what I mean? And I just really don't think that that's the case. I can't imagine that they wouldn't make more of these and they would just have a super limited, amount of these. It seems like a lot of people across the internet weren't able to get their hands on these. So we'll have to wait and see in the grand scheme of things. I'm not going to sit here and, legitimately say that they're going to have a restock, but I am at this point, I'm about 55-60% sure that we're going to see a restock. Now, that's not, very good odds in the grand scheme of things, but I'm more leaning towards a restock as opposed to there not being one. So I'm holding out hope. I really am. But it's really cool to see them do this, where you don't have to spend all of the money on getting a brand new console. You can just get the faceplate covers. That's it. And, to me, that was such an ingenious design. And we see them, all through the PS4 generation, or the 8th generation of consoles. We saw them go through a slew of different, limited edition consoles. We had two Star Wars consoles. We had the Spider-Man console. I believe there was an Uncharted console. I think there was a God of War console. I'm not 100% sure. There probably was, to be honest. The Destiny console, I remember that one as well. I can't even name them all. There's one that I'm thinking of that I can't remember. I think I said Batman. But if I didn't, Batman. The PS1 limited edition console, the one that they did for the anniversary edition of the PS1. Oh my gosh, that one was fantastic. I loved the look of that one. But I just, having to be able to trade in your consoles just to get these new ones, it's expensive. It's very expensive. So to have an option where you can just spend $65, bam, you got new faceplates, your console's brand new. It's awesome. It's a really cool thing to do. Now, the reason that I think that they're going to have a restock, at least for PS Direct, is because now the LeBron collaboration that they did, I was talking about collaborations earlier. Now, that was one collaboration that they've already done. Pre-orders went live, and then they were out, right? When it launched, around the time that the Spider-Man 2 pre-order went live, that faceplate already had launched. So when I went on there, they were available. You could buy the faceplates just like that. So that's why it begs the question that I'm really thinking, yeah, it's a limited edition. It says the same thing for the LeBron one. It says it's a limited edition run, but you're still able to get it. So I really do think that we're gonna see a restock, but again, we're just talking it in the wind right now. We'll have to wait and see. But now we come over to the Xbox side of things. And Xbox comes out this week and they say, hey, I understand you guys are chomping at the bits about that PlayStation, or about that Spider-Man PlayStation 5, all those faceplates and everything, those console covers. But guess what? We got console wraps, bro. Console wraps. Let's go. And I'm telling you, I saw what it looks like. Now, I was thinking, oh, I didn't hear that, you could easily like slide the shell off and like slide a new one on. I didn't hear that. And then I started, actually going to their website and seeing what it's about. No, it's really not that. It's just a wrap cover around it. On the inside, it's got some silicone, so that way it protects your console. I'm assuming, for heat purposes as well. It has a lot of different holes so then the heat can escape. Obviously, we've got the fan on the top, so you should be fine there. But, really, no. It just comes around the back, and then I think it's really small. It's about that size, and it just Velcros in the back right there, and then the rest of the back of the console is exposed. So then that way the airflow can actually move and everything. But it actually is a really good way of getting to where Sony is, but without having to actually build that into your hardware. You know what I mean? And it's only time will tell, to see. I want to see this in person. I want to see how this actually looks, and is it actually a good cover for it? Does it really look like we have a new, console sitting there, or does it look, and I don't assume, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to be cheap. Don't get me wrong. I'm just wondering, because it's just a wrap, how does it really look? But I am very excited for this. And it's really, again, the nature of where we're at now. It's customization. These companies, they see that we want to be able to personalize our devices and be able to stand out from the crowd. So they're giving us these options to be able to do so. They already have. Microsoft has been doing a fantastic job with all of the, their design lab, and being able to completely go in and change any color of all the different mechanics in the Xbox controller. Then they added the Elite controller to it too as well. So now you can completely customize an Elite controller. It's fantastic. So this is really where, it seems like this gaming is going. Obviously, on the PC side of things, we've got RGB lights and all this good stuff. Your PC can be a customization even in and of itself. So, of course, that's going to bleed over into the console market. And we're seeing that, and it seems like Sony really kind of took the lead with that and understood that in a sense, really, and I really feel like they did have more exclusive consoles than Xbox did. Xbox had some exclusive consoles during the 8th gen, but not nearly as many as what Sony did. And I think that's to say something. I think Sony really likes to do those limited edition stuff like that, and I think they went into this knowing that we're going to be selling these faceplates. Again, let's think back to D-Brands. Let's think back to D-Brands at the beginning of the 9th generation, what we're in right now, and what was happening with PlayStation and D-Brands and how they were going back and forth. And obviously, PlayStation ultimately won their battle in a sense, but D-Brand is still able to make it with a caveat, and it has to look completely different. That's why you're seeing all these faceplates now on Amazon, on all these, online sites that have all these faceplates that have just vents on them. They've got different air cooling things. Some of them have LEDs built into them. I just saw that the other day. It was kind of cool, to be honest, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, I would rather stick with just what PlayStation is putting out, especially Spider-Man! I'm for real going to be trying to get that. Just saying. Just FYI. But it's really cool to see. It's cool to see that they are allowing this to happen. I was not expecting Xbox to do anything with the console. And now I will say this generation and what I've seen from like the sweepstakes that they put out for the Microsoft side of things, they really are customizing this console to a T for the sweepstakes. And they're like obscenely customized, and it's fantastic. It's like a good obscene, and whoever's winning these consoles, they are very lucky because these consoles are one of a kind. So they're doing a really good job there. But we're talking about mass market collectible, play consoles. So stuff like that, Sony has been winning so far in that bracket, and it's cool to see now that we are able to customize that ourselves at a lower cost than what it actually would have been for us to do that later. So in the grand scheme of things, is it a waste of money to buy these consoles and to buy these, these covers for them if that's all it is? It's $65. That could be a game in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, in some cases it could be. But when you're thinking of it, like, well, it could be that, or it could be, if I want this, I've got to buy the entire console. They're selling the bundle for the Spider-Man console right now. Again, keep bringing that up because it's relevant right now. It's what's the only bundle for an IP that's on sale. It's $600, or it's either $500 or $600. I don't remember how much. I think it's $600 though. But that's a lot of money. Even $500 or $600, it's a lot of money. Compared to $65 just for the plates if you already have the console. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to be able to go and to get $600 for this PS5 right now. This is a used PS5. You're not going to be able to get $600. You get $400. So then you have to pay another $200 for a console that you already have right there? No, come on now. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'd rather take a faceplate, and I'd rather them have this option for users who already own a PS5 to not have to spend as much money. And now the same thing is on the same thing with Microsoft. They now have the option to customize your console at a lower cost. You don't have to go out and buy a whole new one. And I'm here for it. But guys, that's all I got for you today. And as always, I have been your host, Jedi Master Ren, and I will see you next time for another lesson in the halls of the Jedi Gaming Academy. May the Force be with you.